to Cooking at the Beet. I'm Felino Samson, chef at the Beet restaurant on Nantucket. And today we're going to be talking about fish sandwich. So when first thing about a fish sandwich is what fish to use. Today I'd like to talk about sustainability as a fish. I went to the market today and I got pollock. Pollock is in the cod family, sometimes called the ling cod. It's high in omega-3s. It's very versatile. It comes mostly harvested in Alaska. I'm using it instead of cod. Traditionally, cod is used in a fish sandwich. I recommend going to your fish monger and asking about sustainability. Today I have pollock. Other fish I would recommend is fluke or hake. Mostly known in Europe, but really a great white fish, small flake, very delicate texture. And let's get started. So I have two fillets here, little over a pound each. What I'd like to do is take part of the fish and mince it up in the food processor. And most of the time when people make a fish sandwich, they'll just bread a piece of fish, put it in the pan. But I would like to have it a little bit more uniform so that the first bite is the same as the last bite. If you just do the fillet, which is fine, you can do it that way too. You get like the little skinny bits and then the belly part of the fish. Okay, so when we take the fish, we're gonna trim off the tail and the belly portion off. And we're just going to leave the loin, which is the really thickest part of the fish. Okay. So we have this beautiful thick loin in the fish. All the trim, we'll just whack it up. It's gonna go in your food processor. Okay. So I want probably between 50-60% of the fish actually whole. And what we're gonna do is trim it and cut into about just a little bit under an inch square. Okay. So now we're gonna quick mince the tail piece and the belly portion of the pollock. I'd like this fish sandwich to be natural, so I'm not adding much for filler. Actually, just the mincing of the fish will be enough to hold it together. The only flavoring I'm adding is ají amarillo powder. It's a chili that I discovered when I was in Peru. They use it in a lot of ceviches. It's a very spicy, floral chili, and it gives a nice yellow color to the fish. So I'm just gonna add about a teaspoon to what I have in here. We're gonna quick pulse it. This is only gonna be pulsed about 10 times. It'll start to ball up and you're done. One more time. So you got this ball of fish, which is minced. Into a bowl. With all the other large pieces of pollock. Okay. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take this minced fish and use it as the glue that holds this patty together. So I'm just gonna quickly massage all the pieces of fish and the minced fish together. So So you're gonna say, why or how would that hold the fish together? So what we're doing in the food processor is we're breaking down the proteins, and the proteins get all the strands of protein gets shredded, it's broken up. And what happens is there are certain amino acids that are in the flesh of the fish. And those are the building blocks of proteins that over time will bring back the strands of protein and will hold this fish together. And that actually will take a little bit of time. So we're just gonna mix this. I'm gonna grab a ring mold, just an ordinary, it's about a 6-inch ring mold. And I'm gonna form a patty. I've done a couple ahead because I would let this rest for at least an hour. So I'd let it rest for at least an hour, leave it in your fridge. When it comes out, it will be definitely a lot firmer and it's very solid, like really solid. You can, and what I do is I'll crust it first, we'll season it a little bit with a little salt. What's gonna happen is the liquid from the fish is just gonna eventually come out and stick the breadcrumbs onto the fish. But it just needs to also sit for a little while. I'd leave it in the fridge for about half an hour. Also, it's great if you want to prepare this ahead. So for the next day, the crumbs get to dry out and it forms this perfect crust on top. Okay, so to cook our fish, we're gonna, very simple. It's a shallow fry. We're gonna take some oil. It'll be a little bit lighter than actually deep frying fish. So let's take the one I did before. It's really firm, okay? And it's gonna, let's turn this up. You're just gonna cook this until it's golden brown on each side. Because of the thickness of the fish, I would sometimes put it in the oven, like a 400-degree oven, for another 1.5 to 2 minutes, but it goes pretty quickly, okay? And it looks like this. I actually had one of my cooks here at the Beet cook one earlier. And you get this very uniform fish patty, fish cake. And this is what it looks like. It's pre-formed and it has that beautiful golden brown crust on it on both sides. Okay, I'm gonna serve it on this toasted brioche bun and the garnishes to go with it. This is a mayonnaise, it's a garlic mayonnaise, but it has just a couple cloves of garlic, chives, and scallions. It's pureed with olive oil and high-speed blender. Actually, your favorite garlic mayonnaise would work. So I recommend making your own. There's nothing better than making your own mayonnaise at home. This resembles green garlic, which is very seasonal. You get it early in the spring. Garlic, but it's a little bit more subtle and has a bit of a green floral quality to it that's just distinct. Okay, I have sliced tomatoes. These are pickles that we make in-house. I'd just like to give you a tip as far as if you make your own pickles. I learned this recently. To preserve color, especially pickling or anything like making a green mayonnaise, I would put about a half a teaspoon of this ascorbic acid, which is basically vitamin C. And what that is it's an antioxidant, and it, instead of putting chemicals like pickling salt or anything strange, that little bit really preserves the color of anything green that you're either pickling or the mayonnaise. Because I mean, look at that beautiful color. And that's just from a half a teaspoon of ascorbic acid. Okay. Also, I just have some shredded lettuce. This is just romaine. I made a vinaigrette, which has lemon juice, a little lemongrass, and some celery seed. It's pretty much like mom's coleslaw dressing. So I'm just gonna take a tiny bit. It's very strong. And just take a little bit. Give that a toss. And we're gonna assemble the fish sandwich. Okay. So beautifully toasted brioche bun. I'm gonna take some mayonnaise and put it on both sides. Patty. Pickles. So these are like half sours. These are actually just English cucumbers, the seedless ones, that I would make a pickling solution of just white vinegar, sugar, salt, and I would drop it in. I mean, you can, or your favorite pickle would work too. But this sat in that solution overnight. Very easy. And it's almost like a half sour pickle. Okay, some tomatoes. In the middle of winter, tomatoes are very hard to get. This tomato is actually a hybrid of an heirloom tomato. You'll see it in the market. It's has that distinct color. I don't want to promote them, but it's there. This lettuce with that lemon and celery seed dressing. And that's our fish sandwich, okay? And what do we drink with this perfect fish sandwich? Let's bring Amy to make a suggestion for us.
Awesome. We are pairing the fish sandwich with a classic IPA from Rhinegeist in Cincinnati, Ohio. This is their Truth IPA, one of their flagship beers. It has lots of great hops, a lot of citrus, some tropical fruit, and mostly notes of grapefruit and mango.
Here. Cheers.
Cheers.
I'm gonna take a bite.
Great. Eating okay.
Okay. This is the Beet fish sandwich from the Beet's Test Kitchen here in Nantucket with a beautiful glass of IPA from Rhinegeist, the Truth IPA.
It's delicious, Felino.
And
delicious.
Until we see you next time, thanks for watching. Please stay tuned. We're doing a special chocolate program for Valentine's Day. And until next time.
Until next time.
I'm Felino Samson.
Amy Young. Stay at Beet.
Cheers.